What is up, guys? Fancy here. Today we are going to be doing a run of Dragon's B10. Well, not we're going to be doing multiple runs of Dragon's B10, but I'm just basically going to try to teach you guys what you can do to make a Dragon's B10 team. There are, in my understanding, 4 possible ways to clear Dragon's B10. I'll just be showing each one of these to you guys and explaining the team. It's going to be kind of a longer video, but it's going to be a little bit different from the Giants B10 video because there are a lot of units you can put into Dragon's B10. You're no longer really limited to like Shannon, Bernard, Bella, and stuff like you are for Giants B10. For Dragon's B10, you can literally run like almost anything in the game as long as they have the right skills to bring to the table. So right now I'm going to be doing my first run with this team. Keep in mind all these teams that I'm showing are going to be 100% auto, so meaning that you don't have to click anything. But some of these teams you will have to set the attack to right crystal then boss. So yes, we're going to start this team now with Veramos, Bernard, Kona, Bella, and McKean. These are fusible, farmable monsters. There are better monsters you can use for this team, but I'm just going to be showing it with monsters that are completely farmable and fusible. So we're just going to start this out right now. This is, in my opinion, the easiest to build Dragon's B10 team, since you're going to have Veramos, Bella, and some people actually have Kona as well, 6-star as well for Giants B10. Oh, and Bernard as well. So all you have to do is raise McKean to 6-star to like complete your team. Yeah, and all you have to do really is just put the runes, the really good runes that you farm off Giants, onto these units. Make sure you just rune them with like really good 6-star runes to get really good stats to be able to run this team. Obviously, some of these units I have already with Violent because I've been farming dragons for a while. But with really nice speed runes, swift runes, you'll be able to do this really easily. This team, basically, the general strategy is to actually have to set this to right crystal then boss. The general strategy for this team is basically to kill the right tower. What you need to build a team like this, make sure you take this down, guys, is a dot monster, someone that can put dots. 2 people actually to remove debuffs from your team. So I have Veramos and Kona to do that. Veramos fills 2 roles because he's both a daughter and someone that can like remove debuffs. You need a healer, of course, to make sure you stay alive. Your whole team stays alive. You want a reviver, someone that can bring your team back to life just in case someone dies. You'll see why we need this a little bit later. And for the last slot, I like to put a speed buff, Bernard or Verd. Basically, someone that can fill your team's attack bar up. I haven't tried it with Megan, but I'm pretty sure that Megan will work as well. If you don't have a speed buff that you can fill with this slot, you can also put a second healer. But I do find that putting Bernard in makes this run a lot faster and a lot safer. So we're just gonna let them run it through and get to the boss, and then you guys will see what I'm talking about. By the way, this shirt just happens to be the same shirt I did for the last video, and it's been a few days, so it has already gone through 1 laundry rotation. I'm not wearing the same shirt. You guys I've streamed for 2 days with a different shirt. It's been through a laundry rotation. I just finished showering. Yeah. All right, glad to get that off my chest. Because I noticed just now I was wearing the same shirt as I did for the last video. So we're just gonna let them run it through. As you can see, like most of them, they're pretty healthy. The hardest part of Dragon's B10 actually isn't the dragon, it's the Zyros. The Zyros part is super annoying. The towers armor break you, and then the Zyros might reset your healer's heal, and then your healer can't heal back up. But with like 2 healers, and then especially if you have something like Kona, who has a heal that only has a 3-turn cooldown, it's actually not that hard to get a second turn. So I set the auto to the left tower or right tower. The right tower is the one with immunity. This immunity tower, it gives the dragon immunity, meaning that you can't dot the dragon, you can't debuff the dragon. The reason why you want to kill this tower first is obviously you can go straight for the dragon and just hit him through the immunity. He has no healing, eventually he's going to die. But the dragon does have a passive over here, where if he's under 30% HP, he starts hitting you really, really hard. So in order to get really safe runs, you want to be able to just stack some dots on the dragon while he has a lot of HP. And then once he's at that 30% mark, he'll just die really fast from your dots. So the strategy here actually is to just have Veramos dot down this tower, and everyone's just going to focus the tower, and then we're just going to tank and heal through the dragon's damage. And we have McKeen here. McKeen is actually here as a backup. She's the reason why this run is 100% clear. Basically, you just want to stack a whole bunch of HP on McKeen, make her super, super tanky, and like the tankiest one on your team. And basically, you want her to revive whoever dies when they kill the tower. The dragon does kill whoever kills the tower, so you have McKeen here to revive just in case someone dies. This way, you have your whole entire team ready to take down the dragon. So now he has no more immunity. This tower is still putting dots on you, but you know you have 2 people to cleanse debuff, so it's not really a problem. I'm gonna armor break the dragon, and then we're just gonna just keep hitting them. Also, you want to make sure your other 4 members besides your reviver is strong enough to pretty much 4-man the dragon, just in case McKeen is the one that kills the tower, and then the dragon kills McKeen. Should be too hard. Once the dragon doesn't have immunity, it's pretty easy once you have a dot and enough sustain to just take him down. So my Vero, my Bernard, Kona, and Bella can pretty much 4-man the dragon if he doesn't have immunity. Yep, and this is the Dragons B10 revive comp. This is the first team actually that I built for Dragons B10. I had a video earlier, like before this one. Yeah, and then if someone dies by accident again, McKeen can bring him back. But even if like 2 people dies, as long as the dragon has a few dots on him, he's just gonna die anyways. So it's pretty safe as long as you have some dots. So important things to have for this team is 1 dot, 2 people clear debuffs, a healer, a reviver, and as your 5th, you should probably put a speed buffer. If you can't have anyone to speed buff, you should put in a 2nd healer. So we got this, which I'm just going to sell. Now moving on, we're going to introduce the 2nd team, the 2nd strategy. This one is with Bretta, 2 healers, and then 2 people to cleanse debuffs. So we're just going to start this out. You can also probably do this with 1 healer and 1 speed buff, but it's not as safe. And this team, yeah, you just need 2 healers for more survivability, and you want to set the auto to the boss. So we're just gonna let this team run it through. This team is around 90. Currently, with my runes and stats, it's around like 95% clear rate. It's not 100% clear because at the Zaras part, your team can actually die. Like if someone dies before they get to the boss, you're pretty much screwed. If you're bringing the revive comp, I mentioned before that my McKeen is Rune like triple HP, so she's super, super tanky. Even if she gets focused, she won't die. If she's not the one that's focused and someone else dies, you can always just bring them back to life in the later level. You can't really do that with this team. This team, you just have to, you just gotta hope nothing goes wrong at the Zaras part, and then you're able to take down Zaras, no problem. Basically, you just want to stack like a whole bunch of tankiness on this team and have your healers heal a lot. So if you're using Amin, make sure he's like really high HP on Violent and stuff. If you're using like Chasun, Bella, make sure like Chasun actually and Bella both have some like decent speed so they can have enough heals. Yeah, basically just to make sure your team stays alive. So what you want for any team actually, if you want 2 people to clear debuffs, One of them should be one that actually removes debuffs. So kind of like Veramos and Conan. They're both units that remove debuffs. You can actually do one unit with immunity and another unit that removes debuffs. That will also work as well. Basically, you want the reason why you want two is just to make it safer. Obviously, if your Veramos has really high speed and you're running it with a really high speed buffer, for example, like a Bernard with 250 speed or a Verd that's over 200 speed, and your Veramos has around like 170 speed, you can obviously just run your Verd and Veramos, and then you don't have to worry about a second person to clear debuffs. And you might even be able to put in a DPS monster in your 5th slot. It all just depends on runes, but this is just the basics. This is mostly for people that don't have a Dragon's B10 team yet. These two strategies are the ones you want to aim for. You don't necessarily really want to go straight for the dragon just yet, not until you have the proper runes to do that. You pretty much will need a DPS monster, someone that can like remove the dragon's immunity buff, and then have like really strong nukers and like a fast Verd and Veramos to do that. So for back to this team, basically I'm just having Bretta just dot down the towers. We're just gonna leave this team here, and we're just gonna let Bretta just keep spamming his AoE dots. It's really good to have a max skill Bretta for this team. I call this the AoE dot strategy. You can do this on any unit with an AoE dot. You can do it if you have a Zyros, if you have just any unit that you raise for TOA like Hemos. But most people do have Bretta because Bretta is fusible, so a lot of people do have access to him. Basically, we're just leaving it like this, and Bretta is going to eventually dot down the two towers. The right tower is going to keep giving the dragon immunity buff, meaning that the dragon won't die as fast. And Bretta is just going to keep spamming his dots, and we're just going to take down these two towers. And generally, you should be able to take down the 2 towers before the dragon hits his 30% HP mark. Yeah, we're just going to leave it like this. And basically, this run takes around 5 minutes on average. The previous run also takes around 5 minutes. This run actually takes maybe a little bit longer than 5 minutes. I ran a run before for like 7 minutes when Bretta doesn't really dot a lot. So it's not like really reliable. You really don't want to build this team unless you already have a 6-star Bretta like laying around and 2 healers. You can really easily put together this team and start farming dragons. That's the only reason I recommend this team. For newer people that just finish farming dragons, clearing TOA, and start looking towards dragons. I mean farming giants. People who are farming giants, clearing TOA, and is starting to look towards dragons. You want to build the revive team, the one I showed before instead of this team. So yeah, this actually takes quite a while. You're just gonna have to wait for the towers to die from from the dots, and that usually is like 3 or 4 turns before any of your units move once. There is also another risk with this team. You might see it right now. It's that if you have a unit that does an AoE skill and accidentally kills the tower with AoE, for example my Bretta and Veramos, you could also fail. Because if Veramos dies and the dragon is not low, there's a chance that my team will fail as well. But it should be fine since like I have both Veramos and Bretta to dot now. The dragon doesn't have any immunity, and we're just gonna nuke him down and dot him up. Yeah, this is already the end of the fight because by the next time he moves, he's just gonna die from the dots. So this is the second team that I'm showing, the AoE dot strategy. I got a vampire rune with speed and accuracy. I don't think I need this. I'm gonna just sell it. So the third team, third strategy I'm gonna show is a team that goes straight for the dragon. The team I'm running right now isn't 100% complete. I'm kind of using. I plan to use Spectra instead of Theomars as my 5th, as my DPS. But currently my Spectra is only 5 stars, and I'm still trying to 6-star him right now. So right now I'm kind of using this team to farm dragons. It's not the safest team, but it is really quite fast. So we're just gonna run this team. Speed buff. You're gonna need a fast Verd. I'm not sure if you can do it with Verimals Leader and a super fast Bernard. You probably will be able to do it with a super fast Bernard. If your Bernard has like 250 speed or something like that. Verimals, super fast Bernard, a nuker, and then 2 people to remove the dragon's debuffs. Some people actually do put 2 nukers and have only 1 person to remove the dragon debuff. But I'm running it like this mainly because my Belladon doesn't really have like really high accuracy. So I'm running it like this with my Megan and Bella to remove debuffs. Verimals with Verd speed buff, he should be able to clear enough dots, and Theomars is just going to nuke down the dragons really hard. So this run probably takes around maybe not even 3 minutes on average, but this is really high risk. If you're not really afraid of losing a bit of energy for some faster runs, you can run a team like this. Obviously, if I had Spectra 6-star, I probably will have much safer runs because Spectra has an AoE slow that can slow down the towers, and I can really easily get through the Zyros part with Spectra as well. So my Megan's gonna buff up. I pretty much have 3 attack bar fills on this team. I have Verd, I have Megan, and I have Bella. So I have quite a lot of speed buff on this team. Meaning I'm gonna get many more turns before the enemy moves once. So I basically went through the first 2 levels without the enemy ever moving once. This is actually the most dangerous part for my team, right over here. It is really possible for one of my units to die at this part. So my Theomars got armor broken, which is really annoying. He's the one that I really don't want them to hit. Okay, so we're just gonna hope that like I'm able to get through this part without losing a unit. Because if I lose a unit, I'm in really big trouble. So let's just hope Theomars is able to nuke the Zyros down really hard. Alright, I was able to get the Zyros down before he moved again and probably silenced everyone and nuked down my Verd, because my Verd was already armor broken. So if I get through that part without losing one of my units, I pretty much am able to just clear dragons. Because the most dangerous part of the dragon's B10 isn't actually the dragon. Well, it's not the most dangerous part if you have a team built ready for it. But the part you really have to be careful for is the Zyros, because the Zyros can silence your healer, and then you might be in big trouble if he does that. So basically, Megan and Bella is just going to keep removing the immunity buff that the immunity tower gives the dragon, and we're just going to armor break the dragon and then keep dotting him up. He's just going to lose a bunch of HP. Usually by the end of the fight, I lose my Verd, but at that time the dragon is usually low enough for my team to just nuke him down. There's a lot of strategies you can use to go straight for the dragon. This is only one of them. It's not the only strategy or the only team that you can build that goes straight for dragon. I'm not 100% sure about the stats you need for a team that goes straight for the dragon, because it's really hard to tell. You're just going to have to do it yourself and do a lot of testing before you can go straight for the dragon. Yeah, I don't recommend going straight for the dragon until you're able to have really good runes. And I actually got a Mystic Scroll off that as well, so pretty lucky. I guess I'll pop that later. So I'm going to show the runes and just talk a little bit more about the 3 teams and basically what stats you need and what runes you need for most of these units. So let's go to my first team. My first team was Vero, Bernard, Kona, Bella, and McKean. This is the revive team. My McKean has really high HP, but the only reason is because I ruined triple HP with the Swift Blade set. I got a little bit of crit rate on McKean just so she could freeze with the blade set and some substats. These ones are only at +9, and this one's already maxed out. So she's not like as tanky as she could potentially be. But you know, she only has like 8,000 something HP at 6-star, which isn't that much, and her base speed is also pretty low. So ideally you want McKeen on Violent, but you're not going to have access to Violent runes until you're farming dragons, so you might just want to rune her with Swift, either with Swift speed on 2 double HP, or triple HP if you want to be really safe. Or you can run something like 3 sets of energy, speed on 2, and then double HP, or 3 sets of energy, triple HP. Her armor is actually quite bad for a 6-star as well, so actually for a support monster she's not bad. No, like Vermos is way tankier than her. Like if you're talking about defense, her defense isn't that high. Her HP is actually better than her defense. But then again, McKeen's main stat is actually her attack. She's actually has much higher base attack than most other units at 6 stars. So you want to have basically just your reviver as tanky as possible. If you're not using McKeen, you can use like Michelle, who is also farmable. And ideally, if you have Brian, use Brian. Brian's definitely probably the best because you can build him super tanky, and there's no way that like Brian's gonna die if you're rooting him with like all HP. Now Vermos, my Vermos is actually really bad. His speed is super low, but he's actually usable. He's quite tanky. I use him for PvP quite a lot, but his speed is really low. So I barely make it using the go straight for the dragons team. My Verd is quite fast, not the fastest Verd, but you know, pretty decent. Almost 200 speed. My Bernard has over 200 speed. Slightly over 200 speed. My Bella is on like 160 speed on Violent runes. But you don't actually need Bella on Violent. You can just rune Bella Swift because Bella's base speed is also quite good as well. And Kona as well. My Kona's on Violent. If you don't, obviously, like not everyone's gonna have access to Violent. But the thing is, I actually bought these. Well, my Kona's using mostly 4-star runes actually. He's got 3 4-star runes. These are actually runes that I happen to pick up from the shop. So they're endure runes. Obviously, if you have a set of like energy runes, you could rune it this way, and then you can, if you have happen to have a Violent rune from the shop or something, you can also rune that, and then you can use some filler runes to fill up a Violent set for Kona. Kona on Violent is definitely much stronger than on Swift, but you can also rune Kona with Swift if you don't have access to Violent runes, which you probably won't if you're not farming dragons. So now moving on to my Beretta. The Beretta team basically is the same units that I've had before. My Beretta is, except I'm switching in Beretta and Amen. My Beretta is quite tanky. He has 83% accuracy. Once I max this out, he'll have over the 85% cap. I'm using Despair Energy just because I can get his accuracy quite high without the focus set. So, you know, I can get some bonus HP for my Beretta and make him as tanky as possible. I mainly use my Beretta for TOA. In this case, I can use him for dragons as well. So you want to rune him Despair Energy. Yeah, Despair you should be able to get pretty easily from Giants. So just rune Despair Energy or Despair Focus. I use Energy if you can get like 20% substats from Focus. If you're using mostly 6-star runes and you're using a 6-star 6-slot accuracy rune, you should be able to get your accuracy to over 85% without using any Focus runes. My Amen's on Violent Blade, and like these 2 slots are only like 4-star runes, so it's like really sad. I don't use my Amen that much, but you know, he's actually usable. He has some speed, a little bit of HP and stuff, so he's still a functional unit. Yeah. So I might as well show the runes of the other units that I use to go straight for the dragon. My Verd is on Swift Energy because I can get 100% crit rate without Blade, and this way I can make him just a bit tankier in case he gets focused by the Zyros. And then Theomars is on Violent Blade, just, you know, high DPS. Megan's on Swift Revenge. I just happen to have these 2 Revenge runes. I could just do Focus as well, but you know, I decided to just put those Revenge runes on Megan. Obviously, I can take them off and put them on someone else in the future, but you know, this is just temporary. Yeah, that's basically it. This is all you really need to do. You don't actually need to have these exact units. They're just really easy to come by because they're mainly farmable. You can obviously replace Theomars with Sigmaris. Sigmaris is probably easier to get than Theomars, and Sigmaris probably is better than Theomars if you're running Sigmaris for dragons, because Sigmaris has a nuke that scales with the enemy's max HP. So in summary, what you need for the revive team is obviously you need 1 dot. You want to be able to dot down the towers and the dragon eventually. You need 2 people to clear debuffs, or if you can get a really fast speed buffer, you can just have 1, and then you can fill that slot with another healer, or you can fill it with another DPS character if you can. Yeah, so you want to make sure you have 2 people clear debuffs. You need a reviver, of course, with a revive strategy, and then you need your healer, of course. And then for the last slot, I like to put a speed buffer, like Bernard or Verd. Either one will work as long as you can get their speed high enough and their HP high enough as well. Bernard, Verd, and we have, yeah, and you want basically just want everyone's speed as high as possible. Maybe with the exception to your reviver, because your reviver is basically just there to revive just in case someone dies. For the dot team, you want to have a tanky like dotter. You can use Beretta. If you have a Zaros, you can use Zaros. If you built like Hemos for TOA hard, you can use Hemos. Just anyone with an AoE dot will work. Beretta is probably most common. I really wouldn't recommend building this team unless you happen to have a 5-star or a 6-star Zaros or a 6-star Beretta or a 6-star whatever AoE dot monster you have. You can really easily just, you know, put that monster, 2 healers, and then 2 people clear debuffs to go for the dragon. And then the 13 that goes straight for the dragon, you basically want you can only have 1 person to clear the debuff, so you want to make sure your speed buffer or attack bar filler is like really fast. And then you're probably gonna have to run Vermos either way, because he's pretty much the only one that can clear debuffs every single turn. The only monster I would think is better than him at clearing debuffs is probably Villagewell. If you happen to have Villagewell, you can use that as well. And then you can use like 2 people to clear the dragon's debuffs, or if you're confident, you can have 1 person clear the dragon's debuffs and then 2 nukers. Yeah, you will need some nukers if you want to go straight for the dragon, or else there's really no point to go straight for the dragon if you're not running nukers. And that is actually basically it for the Dragon's B10 team. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. And like, if you happen to have some units, you have some questions about, you know, if I can use A or B for Dragon's B10, yeah, definitely leave a comment below. You can also come by the stream sometimes. I stream from like usual stream time is like nighttime in like server time, so it's like Pacific time, nighttime. Stream almost pretty much every day, so you can come by and ask some questions. You can I do like live reviews on my channel. And yeah, Dragon's team is really much more complicated to build than the Giants team. It's not as straightforward because there are a lot of units you can put into your Dragon's team. You're not really limited to that Shannon, Bernard, Bella, you know, thing for a Giants B10. So we are actually there's actually 2 things I want to do right now. That gave away the surprise. There's 2 things I want to do right now that I might as well do on video, so I'm going to do it on this video. I'm going to pop these 2 scrolls, and I'm going to summon this. I'm going to summon my Ifrit. Finally, my second Ifrit. I currently have Theomars. I'm hoping to get the fire one, so maybe I'll do some crazy ritual to get the fire one. So here we go. I'm gonna pop 2 scrolls, and it's a griffin. I can use this skill at my new Spectra. Not bad. No lightning, but the Fire Beast Hunter to make people who still need to fuse Vermos. You can view this as a good thing or a bad thing. Bad thing is I summon it now and it's just gonna be fodder for me. The good thing is, you know, you guys can summon it too if you're lucky. All right. We're gonna summon this, and I'm gonna actually do some crazy shit. Actually, there's no crazy shit I can do. All right, there's no crazy shit I can do actually besides I don't even have a fire temple. This though, I don't even have a fire sanctuary. I can't even do some crazy fire ritual. So we're just gonna pray that I get the fire one. Let's go to some random channel and see if people congratulate or say, like, you know, GG. And I hope I don't get another Theomars. Oh my god, I'm nervous. I saved this for so many weeks. All right, I'm gonna look away, not look. Oh, whoa, I'm not looking. I saw the shape, but I didn't see the color yet. Please tell me it's the fire one. Please tell me it's the fire one. Please, you guys know. I don't know. Fuck! Holy shit! Shit! Oh my god! I have it! Yes! I love you, come to us. Yes, alright, I have a new toy, and I need to really farm the elemental hall really hard to get it. Alright guys, I think that is it. I think I already did my guild battles. Hope you guys enjoyed this Dragon's B10 video. And yeah, super happy right now, super excited about my new Tessarian. And if you have any questions, please do feel free to leave something, leave a comment or anything, or come check out my stream. Come by for a live review, and I can actually go into your monster box and like actually review like each monster that you can use to make like your dragons team. If you have any questions, so feel free to do that. I'm always glad to help out. I'm always glad to help people progress the same way I did. Yep. So that is it. Signing out, guys. Until next time. Happy summoning and peace out.